So you might be able to tell I've been a little bit sick, had a cold, but, I think it adds a certain quality to the guided meditation voice. So I hope you enjoy that. Okay, so finding your way into a comfortable posture. And as you get settled, I'd just like you to, in whatever way feels good to you, just bring to mind the sense of practicing with others. So you might want to take another little look at the people on the screen that are practicing here today. You might want to just bring to mind any friends, perhaps, sanghas, communities that you're part of. Anyone out there that might also be practicing now or today or this week. And if it resonates with you, can also bring to mind the sense of being part of a lineage. And these practices extend back a really long time. The Buddhist practices can be dated back about 2,500 years. Just the sense of all of the people, all of that time, all of that energy put towards the alleviation of suffering. And just bringing this to mind in whatever way feels right to you. You might like to picture friends, sangha members, other meditators. You might notice that holding the posture connects you with these lineages, with this community. You might also like to bring to mind this intention to practice for others. That each practice you do is an act of kindness for those around you. Any benefits of the practice will ripple out. And acknowledging here that when we practice, we don't just do it for ourselves. We do it because it fits in with how we'd like the world to be. Now just check your posture again, and if there's any adjustments you could make to be even 1% more comfortable, go for it now. And then really let yourself relax, sink in to your posture. When the body becomes still, the mind also becomes still. Now tune in to the present moment. Notice any sounds that you can hear. The sound of birds, sound of people moving around, sound of vehicles. Allowing each sound to arise and pass. Letting each sound be known with mindfulness. Each sound is known with calmness, clarity, and equanimity. And as the soundscape changes, notice that you can kind of step back from the sounds to not be caught up in them, but instead there's just enough space that they are known, they arise, they pass, and then you're picking up the field of sounds to notice the next sound. Returning back to the present moment over and over. And then, when you're ready, gently bring your attention to the sensations of the body. Notice the feeling in your hands, warmth, coolness, pressure, tingling, texture. Notice the feeling of being supported, being held by the chair, cushion, floor. Notice the solidity of those sensations. And then notice as well any other sensations that are prominent, anything that stands out. Allow your attention to move around the space of the body, noticing what the different sensations feel like. So noticing if there are places that feel tight or tense. Noticing if there are places that feel relaxed, open, spacious. Noticing if there is a feeling of warmth or coolness. Noticing where there is texture, like where the clothes touch the skin, or part of your body rests upon something. Noticing where there is solidity, sense of pressure or force. Just very gently observing these different sensory qualities in the body. Taking this observer's viewpoint, stepping back just enough to observe with a degree of space, a curiosity, but without getting tangled up. It's like you're a scientist working on this experiment of this human body. You're collecting data. Or perhaps you might like to imagine that this body is not actually your body. It's more like you're an alien investigating some kind of phenomena. Observing the sensations of the body with this freshness and curiosity. And each time you notice a different sensation, you can let your attention soak into it for at least a few seconds. If it's interesting, you might want to keep hanging out with it, looking closer, noticing if it changes. And if it's helpful, you can also use mental labels, silently saying a word that matches what you're noticing. So this could be something like pressure, tightness, relaxation. It could also be warmth, coolness, tingling. Could be texture, change. giving your best approximation, using the labels to help focus the mind and reach a level of clarity, knowing what that experience is. So I'll let you stay with this for a little while. Continue observing the sensations of the body, noticing with clarity, labeling if that helps. And if at any point you're not sure what to do, you can always come back to the feeling in the hands, the feeling of being supported, or the breath. Good. And so there's a real power to mindfulness to be able to observe sensations with space without getting caught up in them. To notice what is arising clearly. And to be able to focus the mind. But as mindfulness progresses, something even more powerful happens. When we look really closely at these different sensations, these experiences, we see that they're actually made up of sensations that are not that thing. The experience of sleepiness, dullness, when you look closely at that, it's made up of feelings of pressure, or maybe a heaviness, things that are not sleepiness. And we can do this for any experience. So what I want you to try now, for whatever you're observing, and this could be something pleasant, something unpleasant, whatever is present for you right now, I'd like you to look closely at what makes up that experience. So I'll give the example of some discomfort. My foot has fallen asleep, so that seems like a good one to give as an example. If I observe it at the level of my foot being asleep, if that's the label I use, that kind of reinforces the sense of having a foot that's gone to sleep. If I look more closely, what I see is actually a whole range of sensations. Some tingly sensations, some warmth, feeling of pressure towards the heel. There's also a sense of blankness. But if I look closely at the blankness, that also is made up of sensations. When I look at this level, it becomes fascinating and ceases to be painful. So this is the invitation to look really closely at the different components that make up whatever you're experiencing. Go one level below the labels you were using before. Look smaller. Look at the level of sensation with as much clarity and precision as you can bring. Nice work, everyone. And take a minute to slowly, gently come out of the meditation. And just notice any effects from the formal practice.